My name is Jason Tiedick, and I'm the founder and CEO of RuleTheRoomPublicSpeaking.com and the creator of the Signature Presentation Bootcamp Workshop. Signature Presentation Bootcamp is the definitive program for successfully creating, delivering, and managing your presentations in public speaking. Before I talk about what Signature is, I first want to tell you who it's for. Signature Presentation Bootcamp is for you if you have a big presentation coming up and you don't know how to get started. You already have a presentation, but you want to improve it. You hate bad subject material and presenters that talk down to us, and you want to connect with people in the room. You want to speak across the world and spread your ideas, and you want to have the perfect message for your audience. You tried presenting or public speaking in the past, but for whatever reason, things just didn't work out. Or your presentations are just okay or stuck and in need of a rock star communication makeover. When you have Signature Presentation Bootcamp, you'll not only have a proven plan for creating, delivering, and managing your presentations, you'll also have all of the assets you need to execute your plan, including the circle of knowledge, an exercise that will guarantee you're telling your audience exactly what they want to know. The agree and see if you're right, a never-fail technique to repeatedly engage and re-engage your listeners. The blueprint, a tool to make sure you'll deliver a flawless presentation without relying on the script. The presentation personality style assessment, an analysis to help you know exactly how to entertain your audiences and be genuine, be yourself. And the learning style analysis, along with all the tools and insights you can use to get your message across to every type of learner in the room. And that's just the beginning. I know firsthand how confusing and complicated presentations in public speaking can be. You have to answer questions such as, what exactly does my audience want to know? How will I engage and entertain them? How can I make sure I'll deliver a flawless presentation without relying on a script? What if they aren't listening? And most importantly, how can I be absolutely certain they will take action and do what I want when I'm done? Those are just the obvious questions. If you've presented in the past, you know there are dozens more that will come your way once you get up there on that stage. I should know, as a serial presenter, I've given literally thousands of presentations and talks. Everything from keynote speeches in front of 5,000 people to TED Talks, 5-minute speeches, meetings, webinars, training sessions, sales presentations, pitches and demos. As the founder of RuleTheRoomPublicSpeaking.com, I've also been privileged to consult on even more presentations, including presentation training of hundreds of employees at multi-million-dollar companies. So I know this stuff works. Whether it's just a short presentation in front of a few people or a massively complex keynote presentation in front of hundreds and thousands of people, the blueprint is the same. And that's because the blueprint, which we call Signature Presentation Bootcamp, just flat works. Let's talk about how it works. Signature Presentation Bootcamp is a 10-week online workshop that's divided into 3 parts. In part 1, we'll attract your audience with content they can't resist and keep them there by revealing to them the underlying emotional reasons they want it. Did you catch that? Emotional reasons. You'll create core content that is exactly what your audience wants to hear, put it into a form that makes it easy for you to deliver, and present it in an attractive slideshow. In part 2, you'll create an immediate and powerful impression on your audience by standing in the right place, working the room with your body, and convincing with your words and your voice. You'll learn the techniques that will make you project a calm and a confidence under any circumstances. And in part 3, you'll keep them engaged and laughing, using your genuine personality style and feeling that what you're presenting is specifically for them. You'll show expertise, keep to your timetable, respond well to every question, diffuse any distractions, and end on such a high note that they applaud you and take action. Because we here at Rule the Room believe that learning doesn't happen until a behavior change, i.e. action, takes place. In short, you'll have an amazing presentation, plus all the skills you need to deliver that presentation with confidence and genuine, in your own style, engagement. Most importantly, you'll know how to create and deliver a presentation that can actually change people's behavior. Now, I've spent 25 years of research, and I've observed, trained, and coached over 10,000 speakers, including speakers in the top 100 TED Talks of all time. With Signature Presentation Bootcamp, you'll be able to present with confidence in any situation. So when that curtain calls and they announce your name as the featured speaker, you know you'll be ready. When you present, you know that won't be the end, because the Signature Presentation Bootcamp isn't just a model for giving your next presentation. It's a model for bettering your public speaking for the rest of your career. What if presentations didn't have to be boring or lose people early on? What if you stopped saying it wasn't anything special and you start saying, wow, that was amazing? What if you knew the exact step-by-step process to connect with people and touch their emotions? And what if you didn't have to wonder if your presentation was a success? What if you had absolute confidence that your presentation was a winner before you even stepped foot on the stage? All of this is possible. All you need to do is register for this online workshop. When you get inside the training center, you're going to download the workbooks, watch all the videos, and complete all the modules. And then together, we're going to create and deliver your next presentation. Signature Presentation Bootcamp has helped thousands of presenters and speakers all over the world, many of them without even realizing it. I don't care if you're an experienced speaker or a new speaker. If you have an audience of thousands or just one person, if you speak online or offline, have a presentation already, or you're just starting one, your presentation in public speaking will absolutely benefit from this Signature Presentation Bootcamp workshop. Before you spend a minute on creating your script or invest another ounce of energy preparing or delivering your next presentation, register for this workshop and become a rule of the room presentation mastery speaker. And do it today. Your audience is waiting for you. My name is Jason Tiedick, and I'm going to show you today A to Z how to create an amazing presentation that gets your audience to want to listen to you and not stop until the end. What I'm going to teach you today is how to change your behavior with your presentations to get them to crave what you have to say. In order to do it, I'd like to introduce you to Brad. So Brad's actually going to join me now. Brad, I'm going to have you just share with them what your name is, what your role is, and what we did together real quick. Just summarize it in your own words.
Sure. My name is Brad Griesiak, and I'm CEO of BendyWorks. We're a software consultancy. And what we worked on together was a few sessions where we took apart what I thought was a good presentation, broke it down into its meaty parts, and then built it back up into a fantastic result, I think.
The hook. Write this down. Takeaways tell them what they're going to get from you. The hook tells them why they want it. Brad is only coming up with his takeaways. Now what we're going to need to do is come up with the hook. But before we do, listen to Brad's title. So I asked Brad, same thing question here. After the entire presentation, what should the audience be able to do when they're done? And Brad, after another 2 hours, he comes up with this. Go ahead and read to them this new title.
Sure. Simplifying challenging software problems with rocket science.
Whoa. Now let me ask you, which presentation would you rather attend? Simplify challenging software problems with rocket science, or what was the other one again?
Using Ruby to simulate.
Use Ruby to simulate physical phenomenon. Which one would you rather have? You guys are literally laughing right now. Why are you laughing?
It's such an improvement.
It's such an improvement. Why is this whole simplify challenging software problems with rocket science, why is it better? Now we're going to figure out why they'd want it. Make a note, this is on page 23. This is single-handedly the most powerful thing you're going to learn in this chapter is figuring out the whys, the hooks, the emotional reasons why they want your presentation. I'm going to give you a recipe to do this, and then I'm going to model with Brad again how we did it for him. Now we're going to learn how to create how they'd want it. That's the mystery. When Brad suggests to them how he's going to give it to them, they'll be hooked. They're going to say, oh my gosh, I have to have this. It's going to make me happy, more successful, and free. And he's going to tell it to me. He's teeing up this mystery. I got to stay for this presentation because I want to know how he did this.
I spent quite a few hours with Jason in preparation for this presentation. He was helping me put together my presentation that I'm going to be giving in a few months, in concert with helping him put together today, and it was really fantastic. Probably the biggest takeaway I have out of this is that I'm primarily a huge procrastinator, and having this framework, this pathway in front of me, helps me know what I should do next. Instead of just freaking out about it for months until a week beforehand and throwing everything together in a haphazard way that hopefully turns out. Instead, now I have a number of industry-proven techniques to make sure that the audience really gets what they were promised, and make sure that I'm not wasting all their time, and making sure that they come out of the room with great takeaways that they can start using the next day.
I think the most critical thing for me today was learning about the pre-interview with someone who's not in your audience, and then performing the circle of knowledge at the beginning of your presentation, and how those can help you identify the critical points to make during your presentation to communicate well with the audience.
While it might seem a little corporate training-wise, the number of things that you take away from one of Jason's presentations, there's just so many things, and you can't enumerate them because it's going to be different for every person. He might teach something that a few people in the room already know really well, but for the rest of the room, that's brand new knowledge for them. And so the vast breadth of information that he teaches the entire audience is perfect, because you're always going to come away with a lot of great information, even if you knew some of it coming into it.
I think my favorite thing from the presentation was how he gave us a blueprint for organizing your thoughts and notes for a presentation that struck a balance between writing out an entire script and having just a totally random outline with infinite levels of nesting. And I also really liked how he mixed in useful, true-to-life examples with justification from his experiences and from research in psychology and neurology.
I'd say the biggest thing is the structure of the piece of paper or papers that I bring up with me. It's been something that I've been struggling with a lot lately, testing different things. Most recently, I tried something that was more script-like than outline-like, and I realized it didn't really work well. And having this time with Jason helped me solidify what a good outline would look like. I was taught in technical communication classes in college kind of what that would be, but that information wasn't all that great, and it didn't stick with me. And so that was probably the biggest thing, where now I'm going to have something up there on stage with me that's going to help me make sure that I stay on task and don't get lost, and I don't have to worry about making mistakes.
I think he was much more effective than some of the previous presentations that I've seen in the past, and I think that's because he very clearly laid out his ideas and then consistently and committedly communicated those to us, and made sure that through the interaction with us that we got the point that he was trying to make.
So Jason was a fantastic mentor on this project. He was very forgiving of my schedule, which was fantastic, and probably the biggest surprise was just his ability to push through and make sure that we stayed on task really well, so that we spent the time that we had together on the most valuable things that we could.